Shit, I lost my train of thought. Never mind, so can be used as the
For the blooper.
for the blooper. One of the best ways to start performing live is open jam nights. In some bars in Singapore, anyone and everyone is allowed to go up on stage and perform. So during COVID, we are not supposed to perform live, so totally no live events, and therefore the whole community is just like resting at home. We have with us today Errik.
Hi.
So we met through the open jam in Crazy Elephant.
Yes, that's correct.
Right? So he's playing the guitar and I'm playing the drums. So one day I received a text from Errik. Yeah, then he was telling me, like I'm bringing back all the guys from Crazy Elephant and we are going to have like a twice a month open jam session. Because within the COVID time, where we are not allowed to go to Crazy Elephant and play, the community actually grew because of you.
Oh wow, that's a nice way of putting it.
Okay, so just a disclaimer, Errik doesn't make any profit out of this. This is his self-initiated community building session, right?
It pretty much is that, yeah. That's right.
So, reason why I'm bringing him here today is also because, good people like him makes the music scene in Singapore much more livelier. Okay? Welcome to this interview. So before we talk about Crazy Elephant and the community that you have helped to expand from where the efforts of Crazy Elephant management ended off until COVID. So let's talk about you first. Bring us back to like the first time you fell in love with the guitar.
Wow. So I think I started off playing acoustic guitar, like a lot of people who started playing guitar. My first memory of listening to any guitar-related music was Queen. My dad actually really loves Queen, as well as Neil Young. So given that Neil Young had more acoustic music, so it was a lot more accessible for me. Quite relatively easy songs to learn as well. Yeah.
It's more like digestible.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Palatable for a young guy.
Yeah, and just simple music, not the easiest to sing, but at least easy to strum on guitar. Yeah.
So how do you find Crazy Elephant?
Well, I'll be honest, when I first... Okay, so disclaimer is that I was always a little bit afraid of going to Crazy Elephant to jam. So when I came back to Singapore from abroad, I was working abroad until 2015, and when I came back, I wanted to get back into the local scene, but what happened was that I didn't have the confidence to go to a stage like the Crazy Elephant. So I built my confidence at the barbershop first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the barbershop. Then slowly worked my way and got to know more people.
Is it like a open jam?
Yeah,
place
it was
also?
very similar. I think, if I'm not wrong, the barbershop was on Saturday night, and then the Crazy Elephant was on Sunday night. Yeah, so that's how I started. Yeah.
So it closed already before I entered, before you know me.
Yeah. So I before I met you, I went to the barbershop. Then once it closed down, then I shifted over to the Crazy Elephant. And by the time I think about
You
2
lao
years.
chia already lah.
No lah. Hardly the oldest bird on the block, man. So
We have a mix. We have quite a wide range of ages for Crazy Elephant.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it so good, because you get the young, upcoming guys like yourself, people who have maybe seen a little bit, maybe still learning from a lot of people like myself. Then of course we have, other friends and fellow musicians who have been around for many years, right? And have a lot of wisdom to impart onto all of us. Yeah.
So Errik as a person, right? Okay, so the only time that I actually participated in your self-initiated open jam, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was like fairly tragic.
Yeah, I guess. I think that's also the caveat about any jam, whether it was at the barbershop or at the Crazy Elephant or unfortunately the one is organized by myself, is that you kind of have to figure out a way with those whom you've been lumped with.
No. So the scrub is mine. It's not the organization.
No.
It's okay. So what happened, right? it's been ages since I played with the drum shield.
Right.
Right. So so we were kicking off the jam, and then the dudes were playing like really like softer music just to like warm up, like. Ding, ding, ding. So the drum shield, right, for people who don't play drums, it's really like reflective.
Right. Okay.
So from my perspective, okay, I'm playing really too loud. But how is this too loud? I'm not even like moving my wrist. And then this guy right here, like he wants to like save the performance, right? So he stand in front of me behind the camera. He's like, louder, loud enough. Yeah. Right. So you save my face for the night,
Dude,
man.
I think that's very generous of you to say that. I think I don't think I would have I've called you up or invited you into community if I didn't feel like you had anything to add. I thought you were you are so. I think you are such a capable player, right?
Yeah,
and I think that's something that I wanted to add to the group. Having your sensibilities and your sensitivities as a player as well. And I think everyone adds their own little thing to the mix. I think that's part of the fun after all, right?
Yeah.
And I make mistakes all the time when I play, and I think that's kind of part and parcel of a jam as well, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, there we go.
So one of the it's one of like the side agendas to like me bringing you here is also to raise awareness to people like, hey, this thing exists.
Right.
So is there like any way they can like get in touch?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I believe that if you DM him, he will then forward you on to me. I'm more than open to welcoming fresh members to this community. I actually, one thing about the way this has been set up is because because there's technically no live audience, so the stakes are a lot lower compared to if you were to go to a bar. Well, pre-COVID days when you would go to a bar and there would be the punters or the people who are sitting at the bar listening in and being quite involved. So it's quite low stakes. It's just you and a bunch of guys just having a nice casual jam. The session is recorded, so it's more for the benefit of those who want to listen back to when they play. So that it's actually if anything, it's actually like a learning tool as well, where you get to see yourself perform. There's one thing about how I learned as a player, which is to record myself and watch myself back, and I would then of course be disgusted at myself because I'm like, wow, why
you're just too humble.
Why are you standing like that, and why are you pulling that face, and why are you like
I'm something like that as well.
I used to have a big problem where I would frown all the time when I play guitar.
Okay.
And because people would take photos and they show me a video, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I need to change that about myself. And so it was a nice point of reflection, a tool to help me understand how I can better myself. There we go.
Speaking of that point, when I entered Crazy Elephant, right? Prior to that, I do have a lot of like percussion experience, but not so much with like the drum set.
Right.
So I was thinking, what will trigger me most is people just yelling like, "Get out of the stage!"
Yeah.
But actually, right, what triggers me is just people doing this. Just like.
Oh, the silent, the
And they were just
judgmental thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what gets to you most, and like how do you like process it in your mind, like in the moment?
Wow.
I think it's important also for like people with stage fright.
Right. Yeah.
Because that is one of the parts in music that they don't want to face.
I get that, and I think that early days when I had more stage fright, what I would do was to focus on the people on stage with me. So I'm not sure about from a drummer's perspective, but back in London I actually played bass. So and actually to this day as a guitar player I play with the drums more so than I play with anyone else. So, but as the bass player, what I would do was I would look at the kick of the drummer's lick. So when that goes down, I know how to play a note, right? And that helped me to kind of like align myself and to center myself, on stage. But I guess in general, if when you're on stage and you are trying to overcome stage fright, the key thing is to just remember that you need to have a bit of fun. And I think that not everyone makes mistakes, and of course we'll always be very self-critical. But just remember that there are lots of other guys on stage with you, and you can lean on them a little bit, right? And that's kind of the baby steps that we take as musicians before we can become the rock stars in our minds, right?
Speaking of which, there's this one particular individual who happened to live in the same block as me.
Oh,
Choi.
No way!
Yeah!
Really?
He lives in I think the 7th floor or something. Even now, like I like to smoke at like my window, right? And then I will see him like carrying groceries. Sometimes I will see him like waiting for Grab, like with some fishing rods and like guitar. So about this Choi, he knows that this is like my first month going to open jams.
Right.
Yeah. So I look pretty tense, and then once I finish a field, and then he'll be like, more, because I like to just like.
Choi is so generous with his compliments, and he's also been very, very sweet and very, very nice to me. My only regret with this blues jam that I've organized is that I organized it on a Saturday night, and it kind of clashes with his opening time for his bar. So I've never really been able to invite him. So Choi, if you're watching this, I would love to have you on.
I would I would probably forward this to our WhatsApp group.
Nice. Please, that would be amazing.
So it's this kind of people who will like support you. In fact, like I didn't anticipate so much love, right? Like in like this kind of community until I actually step on stage.
That's good. That's great that you felt that way. I felt the same way as well. Actually, there was a lot of acceptance.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially that we are young, right?
Right. Yeah.
Young people.
Yeah. I think it's I don't know. Maybe our generation requires just a little bit more validation. Yeah. we just like, please accept us. We're just here to have a bit of fun and
and they know exactly what it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because like to me, the playing like as a drummer, we can't really like do anything, and even if like I'm not really much of like a great player to like throw off a lot of like solos, but even like the most mediocre night in Crazy Elephant I had, right? I would go downstage and they will like celebrate it like I just scored a goal, like I'm the soccer player who scored the penalty goal, like hey, then everyone will be like, hey, nice one, man, nice one, huh? Yeah. So unfortunately, right now we can't do open jams. So this is like the best that like our community can give, which is led by Errik. Yeah. So once again, you can DM me at Tipsy Groove. No longer Tipsy Groove.
No longer Tipsy.
Yeah. At Amir _ Abdul Kalim, AMIR _ ABDUL KHALIM. Yeah, and then I would forward you to Errik. Okay, so one question before we end this interview. I'm sure I don't know if it's the most talked about in today's generation of youth, but when we were growing up, I'm sure your parents also tell you like don't like focus on like work outside and just like throw away like music, just play it like in your room, Right. And Errik has a full-time job. Even though he plays guitar like for fun, right? But then he goes to an extent where he builds community. It's not just like gathering people and just like, okay, you guys do whatever you want, I just gather and then done. Like he also does the editing, the back end, like the cameras and stuff. So to the young people out there who like wants to do music but also wants to have like a stable job, so can you like give them advice on like how to manage their time?
Right. I think it's the same that I would tell the people whom I work with on a day-to-day basis. Full disclosure, I work in education. When you try to build community, there's a value that I see in it, which is forming human bonds, and that is the driving force, the motivator for me, which is to bring people together, to have a bit of fun together. When you have a strong motivating factor behind you or within you, I think that will allow you to find time, find the space, find the the headspace to segment a portion of your life for that. That's not to say that you don't do everything else. There's always an order, always a priority list of things, and sometimes we just have to say, okay, I can only dedicate so much time to this, and then that's all I'm going to be able to do for for this day, for this week, right? And that's generally how I time manage, right? I can't spend all my time playing guitar. I can't spend all my time, finding people to go for the jam. I mean, that's why I always wanted it to be like a word of mouth thing, rather than a very concerted, marketing kind of. Or I have to do a lot of marketing in order to get people to be involved. It's a community, so it grows organically, and that's what it's all about, really. And so from that point of view. If I didn't see value, I wouldn't have done it, and therefore I think having that intrinsic motivation to go and chase after that, allows me to then compartmentalize it and to find the time to do it, and to, as part of my life, and so that's how I go about doing it.
So I really appreciate you coming here and doing this interview with me. So for more contents like this, do subscribe, click the bell notification button, and give a thumbs up if you like. And most importantly, do comment in the section. And most importantly, do comment in the comment section what you think about this video. If you like me to invite inspirational people in the music community, do leave me a DM at AMIR_ABDULKHALIM. Okay, so I will see you in the next video.
See you in the next one, guys.
Okay, bye.